All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is July 21st, 2025. My name is John Carignan. I am the lead instructor here at the BYOB Trading Room. Let's go take a look at some charts today. Let's see how I made 30K. Okay, so here it is. 30K right there. Again, igniting candle coming right out of the top, making brand new all-time highs. Here's price action, 10-minute uptrend, up over VWAP right there. Okay, you can see how I traded that. Here's the 332s, buy the lows, sell the highs. Okay, here's the 331s, buy the lows, sell the highs. Here's the 333s, buy the lows, sell the highs. On the 333 one-day TE, again, buy the lows, sell the highs, and I'm buying into this dip. And 640 calls, 10 days till expiration. I already had some, so I sold into the highs, reloaded, sold, and then I'm reloading down here. Price action, 635 strike, 4 DTE calls. Again, buy the low, sell the highs, buy the low, sell the highs, buy the low when the security goes down, or the option price goes down, and then sell the highs. That's it right there. 640 calls, 4 DTEs, same thing. Already had some, so I sold into the rally, reloaded, sold, and then reloaded, sold, and now I'm reloading again. July, 635 calls, $103 on those. Again, I already had some, so I'm selling into the rally, reloading, selling, and now I'm reloading again. All right, so that's how I made it on that 10-minute uptrend. I did not trade the 10-minute downtrend due to the nature of it. It looked like exhaustion right here with a 3-candle exclamation point, and that looks like price is probably going to head back up toward VWAP. All right, on that one. So there is SPY. I did buy some, a little bit of AVGO. I got 2 contracts of AVGO. Got 2 contracts of Taiwan Semiconductor. Still holding my 26 calls for Intel. Still holding 2 calls for Marvell. You can see I still have a lot of SPY calls. I am bullish on the market. All right, so let's go take a look at SPY. Obviously, 10-minute downtrend coming into the close, 2-hour. And on the 2-hour chart, we'll pick it up here on the daily game plan right there. On the 2-hour, you can see on the 2-hour, we still have a 2-hour uptrend on the 2-hour chart. On the daily chart, okay, topping wick candle right there. Got the sword. All right, price action. Making a brand new all-time high. Doesn't get any better than that. New all-time high for SPY. QQQ. New all-time high for QQQ. Let's take a look at FNGU. FNGU makes, I think that's a new rally high. Let's check it out. Or a new all-time high. Yep. Okay, let's check this out. High today, 25.26. Let's check out these highs right here. We got a high there, 25.19, 25.24, 24.99. New all-time high for FNGU. Again, drop the mic. It doesn't get any better than that. Okay, let's take a look at Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow, daily candle for Diamond Dow is... got a high of 445.78, high of 446. Higher low, higher high. Closing inside a bullish trap over the rising 17. Still up here consolidating and holding the higher ground up in quadrant 4. Still in an uptrend. IWM. Still up here consolidating in the upper third. All right. Price action for today is a lower high and a lower low. Closing underneath a bullish trap, but over the rising 17 and over the all-time high anchored VWAP and still in the upper third. So that's bullish on IWM. Let's take a look at our technicals. T2122. T2122 had us up in the overbought zone, and we meandered back and forth between the overbought zone and the buyer's chop zone to finish the day back here at the midpoint. So there's T2122 on the 15-minute chart. Little freaky price action right there. I don't know about that. That doesn't seem to be right, but that's what it is. All right, new rally high for T2123, 15-minute chart. Still in an uptrend right there. You can see price action on the 15. Big, long candles right there. And you can see price action buying and then a sell-off into the evening. T2123, again, new all-time high for T2123. 3-bar chart, still in an uptrend, making there's a low, higher lows, and higher highs. FNGU moves up, holds the higher ground. All right, again, new all-time highs for FNGU there. Okay, see that squeaked out a new all-time high, FNGU. Again, up over the 200 SMA. You can see buying from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Don't forget Google reports Wednesday night. Mr. Powell's going to speak tomorrow, I think at 8:30. Let's check that out. Yeah, Mr. Powell speaks tomorrow before the market opens at 8:30. All right. Dollar still in a downtrend. Market is looking strong. All right, so let's go back and take a look at a few sectors. First sector we'll look at is XLE. All right, XLE puts in a lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap under the 17. Again, XLE got a habit of moving up and giving it up, moving up and giving it up, moving down and giving it up. So it's just in neutral land. Okay, so price action for XLE. You can see it's not in the lower third down here, so it's not bearish. This would be bearish down here in the lower third. It's not bullish because it would be bullish if it was up here in the upper third. So it's just neutral. It's right here in neutral land, right there. Okay, still in an uptrend. They haven't made a lower low. If they do happen to wipe out this low right here, they will now convert the uptrend into a downtrend. Right now, they're still bullish. Let's take one of these off of here. Okay, still bullish. All right, you can see price underneath the all-time high anchored VWAP. Still obeying the trend line. All right, let's take a look at USO. All right, here's the oil fund. All right, price action for the oil fund is, let's see, they made a lower low here. That put them in a downtrend. Did they make an uptrend yet? No. So USO still, see that tail right there? So they made a lower low right there. Well, that's just one candle. They got to take out this low. All right. Still in an uptrend for USO. Not a very healthy uptrend. Not in the upper third. Okay. So it's USO is just neutral and still in an uptrend. All right. Neutral, still in an uptrend. Again, they got a habit of moving up and giving it up. All right. So they do seem to be trying to hold the ground up here. They just can't seem to hold that upper third area. All right. So that just makes them neutral because they can't hold that area. They could, if they could get up there and hold the higher ground. They're holding this area right now, all right, and they're up over this 3-year high anchored VWAP. They're doing well, just not good enough. Still neutral, all right. Got a lower high, lower low, closing underneath bearish trap, but over the 17 EMA. So you can see price action here for USO. Just neutral, but still in an uptrend. Take a look at UNG. All right, UNG's got a lower high, lower low, closing underneath a bearish cross, underneath the 17, still in a downtrend, showing a head and shoulders. This would be the head. Right shoulder is the double top here. Left shoulder is the double top there. They tried to break through the neckline, break up back through, and you can see here's our neckline right through here, and they failed to get back up through the neckline and on top of that 18-month high anchored VWAP. So there's price action for UNG on the daily chart. Price action is in a downtrend, and you can see it's all the way down here in quadrant 1, so that's bearish. All right, let's take a look at gold and silver. All right, gold putting in a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Up here in quadrant 4, that's bullish up there, okay? Price action, bullish for gold. All right, up there in quadrant 4. All right, holding that higher ground. Still in an uptrend, making higher lows and higher highs. That's still an uptrend. So there's gold, daily chart, still in an uptrend, and bullish, holding that higher ground. And you can see here's price action, making a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish trap over the 17. Silver, higher low, higher high, closing over a bullish trap over the 17 EMA. That's still bullish up there for silver. Price action, making a new 13-year high right there, okay? New 13-year high. Okay, that's bullish up over that 13-year high anchored VWAP, all right? So that's bullish and in an uptrend. If it's making a new 13-year high, it's got to be in an uptrend, all right? So there's silver, all right, on the daily chart. That's bullish and in an uptrend. Let's take a look at SMH. All right, SMH, let's take a look here. High, 293.33. High, 293.53. New all-time high for SMH. Just dropped the mic. It doesn't get any better than that. XLK. Okay, XLK. New all-time high for XLK. Just dropped the mic. It doesn't get any better than that. It doesn't get any more bullish than that. New all-time high. XLF. XLF put in a outside day. Higher high, lower low. Closing over a bullish trap over the 17. Still holding the higher ground up here. Up in quadrant 4. It's bullish. Up over all-time high. Prior all-time high anchored VWAP. That's bullish and in an uptrend. XLF. Let's take a look at IYT. IYT. Got some lows, got some higher lows, got a couple of highs, got a higher high. Price action for today, inside day, lower high, higher low, closing under a bearish trap, but over the rising 17 and over this all-time high anchored VWAP, still in the upper third. That's bullish, still in an uptrend. So that's it for today, all right? That's it. New all-time highs. FNGU, QQQ, SPY, SMH, XLK. Everything still very bullish. All right, nothing's falling apart. Everything's still looking good. All right, so that's it. I'll see you guys all tomorrow at 8 o'clock. Today was a rough day for me because I didn't have my options. We're not plotting, and for some reason TC2000 seemed to have lost my normal setup, and they finally recovered it after restarting for several times. So there you go. So thank you, everyone. Yeah, tomorrow's a better day. Tomorrow's going to be a better day. I can already feel it. Thanks, Gene. Thanks, Jim. Thanks, everybody.